welcome back to this special Tribeca Festival edition of My Harlem Portraits, the show that aims at shedding the light on the fundamental contribution of African Americans to the building of this country and on Black excellence. Well, to represent Black excellence today, we have a very, very special guest who's gonna talk to us about the Godfather of Harlem, the series that now it's in its fourth season and it's having its world premiere at Tribeca Festival 2025.
Yes.
And he is the music producer and composer for the series.
Yes.
We are here with SWIZZ BEATZ.
Nice to be here.
Oh my God.
That was an amazing introduction. Thank you so much.
I am so honored and happy you could make it. I know you were busy. You are a well-renowned, world-famous rap recording artist, music producer, composer, art lover and collector, and a fashion designer. You started your career as a DJ at only 18, and then you continue. You were with your family's record label, Rough Riders Entertainment.
Yes.
Then you became very, very famous, a very important hip hop figure for the East Coast hip hop, which was the most important hip hop according to me because it was the cultural hip hop.
Yes. You started.
Exactly. Together with DMX. And in 2001, you launched your own label, Full Surface Records.
Mm-hmm.
Up to that point in your career, what were your most defining moments, according to you?
Oh man, my most defining moments were all of them, to be honest. You know, coming from the South Bronx, starting from nothing, not knowing that music was a business and can be lucrative. I was just having fun. And so to be able to have fun every day, make people dance every day, and then also change the sound of the East Coast, which then changed the sound of the world from just having fun. But my most defining moment was producing Rough Riders Anthem, Stop Drop for DMX, because this record took us from only doing the Apollo, which is a big deal, but to doing Woodstock, you know, in front of a million people. So this one record took us from the streets of New York to the biggest festival in the world. And still today that record plays and people sing along like it came out yesterday. So that's my most defining moment because it was the start.
Wonderful. And Woodstock was incredible. I mean, it's a historical moment.
Yes.
It had been historical with the Beatz generation.
Yes.
And now with that. You have won a Grammy Award and were nominated 5 times. You were named the inaugural producer in residence at New York University in 2010, and the Source magazine included you on their 2008 list of the 20 greatest producers of the last 20 years. Kanye West has referred to you as the best rap producer of all times. How does it feel to be recognized by your peers and to have this recognition in this way?
I appreciate all the love. I think I still have more work to do to be the best all time. I mean, that's big, but
That's what he said.
I'm super humbled by it. I've done enough records that people can put next to other records. Man, I never really look at those things. You know, my wife taught me how to slow down and accept the accolades and enjoy them and not just move so fast, because I was born just to run, you know, and run past all of the accomplishments. And now I'm more so walking and enjoying. I'm like, okay, I've been past it every day, but I never seen this store. I never seen this because I used to run past it every day.
Yeah.
You know, and so slowing down and taking in what you've done and appreciating it and reflecting on it, I think is very healthy.
That's a very beautiful thing you said there, because it's very easy, especially in your business, the show business, extremely difficult to slow down. Extremely difficult.
Yes.
So, since you mentioned your wife, we need to tell our viewers, for those few who might not know, that your amazing wife is a musical wizard.
Facts.
She's the best,
Facts.
in my opinion, contemporary musician, ALICIA KEYS.
100%.
And with your wife, you are a member of the board of trustees of the Brooklyn Museum since 2015.
Mhm.
In 2018, you and Alicia won the Producers and Engineers Wing Awards by the Recording Academy for outstanding contributions to music.
Yeah, that was an amazing day. Chick Corea, the jazz artist, musician, producer, gave us the award. Rest his soul, but that was like a mentor to us, and for him to surprise us and honor us both was a memorable moment.
Oh, it was a surprise. You didn't know.
I didn't know he was going to present it.
All right.
Yeah, so that was the surprise.
That is fantastic. Tell me a little bit more about that, because that sounds very interesting.
Well, Chick Corea,
Amazing.
he's just flawless. I mean, my favorite song from him is Spain.
Yes.
Him and his beautiful wife always embrace me and my wife, and we even made songs together. We made music together, and so going to the awards ceremony, and they said we have a special person that you might know that wanted to give you the award, and
Wow.
Chick Corea comes out, and then him and Alicia starts playing the piano together. Unbelievable moment.
I
Unbelievable.
missed that.
Yeah,
I missed that. I regret missing that.
yeah, that was one.
You were also featured together in the first cover shoot for Cultured magazine.
Hmm.
How this collaboration, and you gave me already an answer, with ALICIA KEYS, your wife, has been important in your life and for you as a couple?
Well, I think we're just best friends. You know, at the end of the day, she don't own me, I don't own her. She's her own boss, I'm my own boss, and together we come and make magic. You know, we don't scream and yell at each other. Our kids never seen it. You know, do we disagree on things sometimes? Of course.
Of course.
But the way that we handle it is as adults. We have dinner, we speak, we listen to each other, and we improve and move forward. All the screaming and yelling, we never argued in 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah. But do we disagree on certain things? Of course. But we just chose to express ourselves different.
I mean, you are two geniuses, so, you know, you've got to disagree sometimes. You can't always be on the same level, on the same line. Let's move to the Godfather of Harlem.
Yeah.
All right. You are the music producer, composer for this very extremely relevant history and historical series. Tell us how it happened. What made you decide to take up this project?
I mean, I got a couple of amazing phone calls. One was from my brother, Pharrell Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had some other people from his team reach out to me also. And then Forrest Whitaker reached out to me direct and said, listen, there's a lot of producers they're talking about for this show, but we have to have a New York pioneer producer doing this show. It would make me feel more comfortable about the show. And I said, listen, say less. Let's just go. And the rest was history. It was really that quick. It wasn't long drawn out. We didn't have to go back and forth on things. Once we agreed to do it, it went into motion. And the show has just been a blessing because I've had the freedom to just make any type of music that I want. You know, not just something that's already a big hit on the radio we take in and put in the show. No, actually using artists people know, people don't know, older artists, newer artists, different backgrounds, whatever fits the scene, I'm able to do it. And so Chris Brancato and the whole team has been amazing and given me and my team the wings and the freedom to fly, which is why I think the results of the show and the music has been so amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I binge watched it. I've seen all the episodes, even before this came out. I loved it, even before I knew you were doing it. The era this series portrays, the 1960s Harlem, shaped the most impactful events in the history of the civil rights movement and the rising influence of black politicians like Adam Clayton Powell Jr., movements and leaders like the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X, and world icons like Muhammad Ali, who changed the course of history, not only in Harlem, but in the whole country and in the world. How fundamental is the role of your soundtrack, which is absolutely compelling, in enhancing the narrative, the impact of the narrative? Did you feel the weight of history when you were doing this?
Yeah, I definitely felt the weight of history, but I also felt the weight of history not moving too far, right? Which means that it's that heavy of a weight that it didn't even move that far. And we're in 2025 and we can go to our phone and still see injustice happening right now as we do this interview. And so that was the thing that really grabbed me was, wow, like this show could be based on today. Yes. You know, but this is back then, but this is still today. Like, wow, we really haven't moved that far as we thought we did. The technology did, but the human behavior hasn't.
The human behavior has gone backwards since the first time of this administration.
Yeah.
And it is, that's the main reason why I started to do this show. Because I felt, living in Harlem and having Harlem embrace me like that, I felt I need to do something to give back.
That's a blessing.
And giving knowledge, spreading the knowledge of what's going on. And the excellence that exists here.
Yeah.
In this community and all over in this country. So the other question I wanted to ask you, because how does a composer create and choose what music underscores what events? Like you have the tragic events, the murder of Malcolm X, the drugs epidemic, Bumpy Johnson's and the Italian war on with the drugs. And then you have other amazing uplifting moments, like Bumpy daughter Elise, who is able to get out of drugs. He gets into the Nation of Islam, then gets into the Black Panther Party. These are all incredible moments. And these are cultural and historical movements. How do you choose the music, compose it?
Well,
how does it work?
It's a great question. Because I have a great answer. Well, season 1, it was kind of hard getting into the flow and wondering if people would accept the new music, although the time period was back then, and it was a risky thing, but I felt like it was too predictable to go with music from that era. It would just get boring. It just, I don't know, like, you know, like, I don't think they would have picked me to do that. You know, they could have just had a regular composer just do this. They picked me to disrupt the show and bring an energy and keep people and the youth and everyone like tuned in. But the first season was very hard because I was taking the risk.
Yes.
And then when I did the theme song, Just in Case with DMX and Rick Ross, I knew we hit something. I knew we hit gold.
Yes, you did.
Right? And then when that became the theme song, it gave me the courage and it gave the team the courage to go even harder. Then second season, I came up with a new concept and said, whoa, what if I produced the music as the voice of Bumpy Johnson, what's in his head? So I started producing the music as the voice in the character's head, right? So you see Joe Colombo, if you hear a song with Joe Colombo, it's what he's thinking in his head.
Yes.
When you see Bumpy Johnson getting mad and you hear the song, I'm producing what he's thinking in his head. So I made the music a character. Instead of just making the music the sound, I made the music a visual installation.
Yes.
Which is a whole new approach to doing this. And so since then, it's been amazing because I look at the character and then I have a microphone, I have the machine there, and I'm looking and I'm working right as I'm looking at the clip.
Wow.
And then it's it's what Bumpy Johnson feel. It's what Columbo feel. It's what, you know, all of that Frank Lucas feel. You know, so that was my secret weapon, was becoming the voice inside the characters' heads.
This is a fantastic revelation for me. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
It must be so much fun.
Yeah, and when you look back at it, and with me saying it, you'll see it even clearer.
Yes, but I have been noticing that.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I asked you that question, because it always, whatever music and song is in the background always has to do with what's going on.
Yes, yes.
It is absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And tell me about the next season, the third and the fourth, how you went about that.
Those became cruise control. Because once I came up with the formula, it made me speed up the work, because I wasn't thinking about making a hit. I was thinking about helping enhancing the character visual, but through a sonic way. But when you enhance the character through the sonic, it creates the better visual.
Yes.
Right? So if you hear danger, danger, you know, you see Joe Colombo walking, that's what he's thinking in his head. Danger, danger, money on his head top, murder on my mind, one at a time. I don't give a damn, you could put him in the line, right? So at this moment, he's coming there, although he gets tricked, he's coming there to light the place up.
Yes.
And those people in there are in danger, danger, right? So that's how that song goes together.
Yes.
And it's very simple, because the scene gives me the topic to talk about. Then it also lets me know what other artists I want to put on there to feature, because we already know what the scene is. So that's been that.
It is wonderful. Very, I love it. I love it. I love it. Can you take us a little bit behind the scenes? Give us some interesting anecdotes, some insight.
From the way that the process works.
Yes.
Well,
do you participate in the shootings at all?
No.
Not at all.
Not really on set.
Mm.
I'm in the studio.
Yeah.
But we have parties in the studio.
Tell me about that.
You know, we have parties. We have parties in the studio where I just came up with this concept, because in the beginning with Chris Brancato and Forrest, like, they're very into the music and into the process. So I said, listen, guys, come to the studio. And then they ended up coming to the studio, and then I don't know, it just became like 20 other people, like the writers and, you know, the other people coming, and I just invited the whole Godfather of Harlem team as an open door policy.
Wow.
To come in and feel the studio, play music, see what people like, see what they're moving on, and just made it like one thing, not like, okay, the studio's over there, the writer's over here, and Forrest stays over there. No, we move as one family, and it's just been amazing to have that open door policy, because the artists will be in the studio, come right in there, and say, okay, look at it, oh, you're inspired, go do it now. You know, we make people go do the music right then and there, just very organic, and that was super fun.
That's a fantastic concept.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
creating a
organic.
village.
Yes, for sure.
And you need the village to do what you're doing, because this is
100%.
amazing.
I can't do it by myself, for sure.
This is really a show that I love. And it's does that mean a lot for you, the fact also that it's in Harlem? And Chris, I interviewed him before, and he told me that the reason why he accepted to do this show was that his friend, whom I met because they had the first premiere of the first episode, they showed it at Mist in Harlem. And I live in Mist, not in Mist, I live in the building, right? So I went downstairs there. And he was telling me that his mother was helped by Bumpy Johnson to go to school. And that's the reason why they wanted to talk about Bumpy Johnson. I had no idea about that. How does it feel for you, the fact that we are talking about someone who was a gangster, but who also was someone who was giving back to his community and was trying to do something good for the community? How does it feel, especially from the musical point of view?
Well, I feel like a lot of our heroes had to be gangsters, right? Because it's you have no choice. You're starting from the bottom with no tools, and then they saying, behave, be the best. And I know that just from growing up in the Bronx. I mean, I have a lot of family in Harlem still to this day. And, it's one of the most cultural places in the world.
Yes.
But the resources there are not heavy. So Bumpy Johnson coming in there from the streets, outsmarting businessmen, politicians, lawyers, bankers, you name it.
Yes.
This guy was a genius.
Yes.
Of how are you navigating the mob, the Italian mob, who's also sophisticated. And there's many, many bosses. Bumpy was only one boss.
Mm-hmm.
And he had his soldiers, but he was going up against many bosses. And they had to speak to him nice.
Yes.
And I respected that. And I also respected that, he had a foundation, and at the end of all of what people seen was crime and things like that, there was a rainbow at the end of the tunnel, with him wanting to not letting them turn, which would have been done, the probably would have been done a long time ago. Like that whole strip, he stopped from being condominiums and kept it for the culture and kept it for the people, and so he couldn't have just been all about the money. He was about the community, and he needed money to help move the community. So you can say that he's helped more than he's hurt, but it's the balance.
Yeah.
Some people will look at him as a gangster, and some people will look at him as, as a savior.
Exactly, and they did.
Yeah.
They did, and in Harlem. And it has connection with how the mafia started in Italy. It started as a mutual help society. That was really the beginning of everything. So everything is connected. And the show really clearly shows that. And your music clearly shows that.
Thank you.
What you have in mind for the next season? Because I know there is going to be a season 5.
Season 5 alive. I'm still digesting season 4, to be honest. Because I don't watch the show ahead of time. I watch the show as everyone else is watching it. And so you got to think, like, the clips that I'm looking at are like 30 seconds of the scene that I create from. I don't have like the whole episode. I can get it, but I just like to be a fan of the show also. Because imagine the show come out, I've been seeing it a long time. Isn't that exciting? Right?
But how do you add the music if the show is already showing? How do you produce the music at the same time if the show is already...
No, what I'm saying is, when I'm producing the show, I only see like 30 seconds.
Okay.
I don't see the whole show. I can see the whole show and work, but I don't. I told the team, I only want to see the pieces that I'm working on, and I want to watch the show as a fan.
Yes.
Right? Because I think watching it with everyone and seeing everyone's interactions, reactions, I want to be a part of that.
Yes.
Too. Like, whoa, like I didn't know that was happening. So it feels good to be surprised. So I'm still watching the show with everyone.
That's fantastic.
And then when season 5 comes, I sit down with Chris. He tells me the narrative. He said, listen, we're going to go this way, we're going to go that way, we're going to do this, we're going to add this and that. Then I take those mental notes, and then I start compiling a playlist of songs, things that inspire me from the moment. Okay, we're adding some Latin here, we're adding some Italian there, we're adding some this, we're adding some that. And I just create like a gumbo of a playlist of songs that exist already, but just as an inspiration mood board, just so I have leading up to the time that it'll be time to start.
Like a feel to go to.
Yeah, yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Can you give a message an advice to young people who want to come into your career? What to avoid, what to embrace?
I think my message would be to the youth and all people that want to do it is to understand that it's business. It's the music business, it's the TV business, it's the film business, it's the fashion business, it's the art business. We ignore the business part of it mostly, because as creatives, we just want to go and just have fun and let somebody else handle the business.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't let no one. It's like giving your kid to a stranger. You know, if you want to treat your craft as like your baby, and you want to nourish it with education and knowledge as much as possible. So when you work so hard to get the opportunity, you know what to do with it. You know, a lot of creatives get the opportunity and don't know what to do with it because they don't understand business. So a business person comes and know how to take advantage of the opportunity, and then you work all of this time just to pay somebody else or for somebody to take all of your money, you know. So I think understanding that business comes first just as well as creativity, and stay original.
And it's very difficult to do that because, as you said, artists tend not to have the business side. So the fact that you are able to do that, it's really very, very incredible.
Yeah, I went back to school just to show people that you can never have too much education.
Never.
You know, you always can sharpen your pencil, no matter how experienced or how young or old or whatever. I think the world changes every day.
Yes.
So getting knowledge is infinity. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for this. And your next project, we know, unless there is another one outside of this that you want to talk about?
Well, me and Chris have another show along with my brother Grady Spivey. We're the executive producers on. It's called Westies.
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 Okay.
Yeah, and so this is this show is coming from Boston. It's going to show you a whole nother look on Boston. And that announcement will be out soon if it's not already. I think I've seen something.
Then what is it about?
We do all street stuff.
Oh, wow.
we love the street action. This is going to be amazing.
Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah, Westies.
Thank you for Westies. Thank you for sharing this.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you.
I know you have a red carpet soon.
Yeah, they got me running.
Yes, you're gonna be running there too.
Yes.
Thank you for this. Thank you to our viewers. Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Spectrum Channel 1993. Bye-bye, and thank you again.
See you. Thank you.
In the jungle, you're at war with society. Every day is a balance between preservation and self-sacrifice. In the jungle, the most dangerous creation is the man who has nothing left to lose.
Harlem is in shambles.
I don't deal in junk no more. I was trying to build something for my people.
The new Harlem. My husband is becoming the man Malcolm inspired him to be.
The future of Harlem rests in your hands. There's a new kid in town. Country boy looking to make a name for himself.
Who are you? My name's Frank Lucas.
Trying to touch 10 figures. That is something that you could do for me. The test. Coast to coast, I could shoot product.
We're supposed to get up after Bumpy?
Bumpy Johnson gotta learn. Nobody plays Frank Lucas.
I want a place where we can just be.
It's gonna be big. I want in. I'm not asking to be a partner. I'm telling you.
Open up my window again. Open up my window again. Try to do something without the Italians.
They're gonna come after you hard, and you know it.
It's a man's world. My father's planning a war. I'm trying to stop it.
How can you do that?
Things ain't gonna change.
If you go into business with me, you be owning up. Kill Bumpy Johnson.
You can't turn gangster every time an obstacle gets in your way.
This fight is bigger than us.
Power is something you gotta take.
I'm gonna burn them all down.
Cross me once more, we will go to war.
Just in case.